So for this tutorial, I will be showing gravity and no gravity volumes for both characters and actors. Very simple, also extraordinarily simple. So actually, one sec. I actually am going to change this actor real quick, actor static mesh. Also, the reason why I use this static mesh is to show you that any actor can be a static mesh. So you can give any actors static meshes. So for instance, let me change this to a cube to give it less mass. The bigger the object, the more mass it has. So I'll take this and I'm in physics right now. Static mesh, I'll say cube. I'll say it doesn't matter as long as it has the same name. It doesn't matter. And we will do this. I will gain gravity. Cube gains gravity. We'll move the cube. Cube loses gravity. I lose gravity. Oh no! Yep. I lost gravity. And now I'm going to float off into the distance. Okay. So, make sure we're still rolling. Alright, cool. I'm going to keep this as a reference. I have my other reference actually that I'm going to delete right now. Not delete, exit out of. I'm going to save. The reason why you want this as a reference is because it can get pretty messy, but it's not so messy after you figure it out. So launch. And there's a lot of videos. I think I've just made possibly the least complicated one. Also, I will be talking about gravity in different directions as well if you're working with the globe. I am working with the globe, so don't worry, I'm going to get to it. I'm just doing this to simplify it, because I will get to the globe one. So, right now, we're going to do a new project. I will do first person, considering I was in third, just to show you it doesn't matter which person you're in. And for first person, I will make the name gravity reference. You want this as a gravity reference or gravity ref. No starter content. The reason why you want a gravity ref is you can make all kinds, let's say you get a new Unreal, whatever, you want to come back to your gravity ref to remember how to do gravity. So this is first person. We are in first person. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're not going to change the project settings because we want multiple places with and without gravity. We are just going to keep it exactly the same. I'm going to go ahead and delete these. Everything that has gravity except for my floor, landscape, whatever I want to not have gravity, to just be, a static mesh or a mass or whatever, the planet. I'm going to delete everything except for the floor. Also, I deleted my blueprint for the sky, so I already did that. Second, what do I want? Yeah. Alright, so how we're going to do this is we're going to have a new folder, third person or first person, and we're not going to be casting, so it doesn't matter which one. So this folder is going to be called special BP, special blueprints, and we're going to add 2 folders in the special blueprints. We're going to have our gravity control, and we're going to have our, and you can have as many, this reason why I did an actor is because there's some guys that use physics volumes, stuff like that. With an actor, you can just place them all over the place. So that's kind of why I did an actor. And we're going to have new folder, gravity actors. Gravity actors are obviously going to be any mesh you want to apply and not apply gravity and anti-gravity to. So for this blueprint, we're going to add a new blueprint class. It's going to be called an actor. This is going to be called a gravity volume. We're going to add 2 more blueprints. These blueprints are not blueprint classes, so go down to your create advanced asset. Under where you see blueprints, select blueprint interface. It's going to be called gravity _M for gravity message. Same thing for over here. We're going to go to blueprint interface anti-gravity _M. Okay, these 2, there's not much to do with them. You just click on your gravity M first, back out, put gravity space M. Okay, so you can always find it, save, exit out of it, you never touch it again. Go to your anti-gravity and put anti-gravity space M. Never touch it again. Compile, save, exit out of it. Now we're going to work on our gravity volume. Gravity volume is a special object. So for instance, I want a box. Oops. I want to add a component. Call it a box collision. Boom. And we want to call this box gravity. And then we're going to set this gravity to root. And then what we're going to do is go into our physics. And we're going to, not physics, enable gravity. No, I forgot what we're doing. Oh yeah, collision. It's not physics, it's collision. I'm sorry. I've been doing this for hours to figure this out. We're going to go into our collision tab. We're going to look for our collision. Yeah. For collision, we want custom. You see where it says block? We don't want that. We want to go to ignore. And then for this, we want to click on world static, world dynamic, pawn, physics body, and whatever else you want. Vehicle, destructible, projectile. I didn't add these 3 for a couple reasons, but block, this only happens to me in the first-person shooter. If you're in the third-person shooter, you probably don't have to mess around with this. But block is pretty important because then you can't shoot and stuff like that with the gravity in there. But with the overlap, you can do whatever you want. So I can even add the projectile, but I'm just going to leave it alone. Save. And okay, and then what I'm going to do now, I'll save, is I'm going to go to class settings. I'm going to add a interface. No, I'm going to add I'm going to just type in gravity. Sorry. Gravity _M. I'm going to compile, save that, and I'm going to add a second interface. You want to do these separately, and there's a reason why. Because they don't compile right when you don't do them separately. 2 things you're going to add now. 3 things you're going to add now is we're going to add 3 events. We're going to add our begin play event. We're going to add our begin overlap event. We're going to add our end overlap event. And these are the only 3 you need. For other actor, we will just simply put in gravity M message, and that will be an event of its own, and then we'll put in gravity again. No. And we'll look for the anti-gravity message. So we have gravity message, anti-gravity message, compile, save. And then for this, we're going to look for get all actors of class with interface, compile, save. And from this, we're going to get overlapping actors. Component is overlapping. Yeah, you want to get this one because it's the component. And for the class filter, we'll simply plug it in. It's supposed to be oh, I might have grabbed the wrong one. So from gravity, hold on a sec, we'll do it this way. We'll grab our gravity reference, and then we'll get overlapping actors, and then that solves the problem right then and there. What the fuck? Oh, my bad. I know what I did wrong. And then what we want to do is come from our actors and put get, and we're going to go and get a copy. Get parentheses a copy, and from get we'll just plug that in, and it'll plug in, it'll convert, save. And then from overlapping actors we will do Control W for our gravity M, and the target is going to be just fine. And now we can go ahead and plug this in, and then boom, we are done with our gravity volume. That is it for the gravity volume. Now let's test this for gravity actors. Oh, no, we're not completely done with our gravity volume. For my gravity volume, I actually want it to be a certain size. I don't always want to change the size every time, so I'm just going to scale this bad boy up to 65. Scale it up to 65. Alright, cool. And it is scaled up. File, save. And then I'm going to go back and I'm going to go to gravity actors, and this is going to have all your meshes and actors you want. You can put in folders and all that stuff. So I'm going to add a blueprint class. It's going to be an actor. We're also going to do our character after this. So my actor, I'm going to make it a cube. So I'm going to call it a cube. And I'm going to just go add component. I'm going to add a static mesh because I know you're probably going to want to import a static mesh. And I'm just going to call this cube. And the static mesh, I'm just going to grab my a cube. That's a cube right there. Compile, save. And what I want to do is push this up here. Make it the root, I mean. Go to event graph. Close this. Compile, save. Class settings. Add gravity class. And then compile, save. And then we're going to add the anti-gravity M. Compile, save. And then now what we're going to do is event gravity M. You can see it right there, but I'm just going to type in gravity anyways, so we can see we only have 2 events with gravity. It's our gravity M event and our gravity and our anti-gravity event. So I'm going to actually get the anti one first, and above that I'm going to get the event space gravity. I'm going to get the gravity event above that, and this is so simple. So all I'm going to do is come from here and do enable gravity, and it's automatically going to grab my cube or mesh. Enable, or your root. Get your root if you have multiple meshes attached to the parent. Get the root, which is going to be right now my cube. Enable gravity. It's going to grab my cube. Now for event compile save. For event gravity, we're just going to click that gravity enable button, save, and now our cube should be working. Our cube should be working, so I'm going to actually just place my cube out there, and I'm going to go ahead and and for all your cubes, all your actors, there are two things you want to do real quick with all the actors. So I'll click on my cube. Only the root. You only have to mess with the top one. So for instance, I'll put in gravity. I'll just type in physics to make it easier. So if I type in physics, I'll click simulate physics and disable gravity. Act as if all gravity is disabled, and when you have the gravity volume, it enables the gravity basically. So now I'm going to go grab my gravity volume. Gravity volume. I'm going to go ahead and put it over my cube. Play. My cube has gravity now. Now it lost gravity after it left the gravity volume. And to test when it hits the gravity volume, cube is floating. It gained gravity. Alright, cool. So that's working. Now what I want to do is go to my character. So I'm going to go to first person blueprint or third person, whichever. And this is really, really simple. What we're going to do for this blueprint, do we have an event begin play? Okay, yeah, we do. But that's fine. It's fine. Before we do anything, if you have a third person, you can just go ahead and add the event begin play. Because I know for a fact the third person doesn't have it. For the first person, I will show you what to do. Real quick, I want to go to class settings and add my two gravities. Gravity and anti-gravity messages. So compile, save, add my gravity, which is the anti one, I mean. Okay, and then compile, save, and then I'm gonna go. Now that I've added those, I'm gonna add the events. So I'm gonna hit event gravity. There's my event gravity, and then I'm gonna hit event gravity. And there's my anti-gravity event. And for my event gravity, compile, save, what I'm going to do is get gravity scale. I might have to take the context since in there we go. Get gravity scale. Oop, my bad. I meant set. Set. Gravity. Scale. Set gravity scale. And here's the key. Target is going to be character movement. I might set context now. Get character movement, and for file save, for gravity scale, we're going to set this bad boy to 1, and we don't even have to add a new variable, although if you want to add variables you can. And for our anti-gravity, we'll do the same thing. Control W, plug this in, and we'll just make this 0. And then for our event begin play, what we want to do is we want to come up here, Control W. If you have a third person, I recommend you just throw this into you just add your event begin play if you have a third person, because I told you they don't have one, so you just add your event begin play to your third person, and that pretty much sets us off. So save. Now we have we should have 0 gravity. Yep, we have 0 gravity. And there's my gravity. Oops. Yep, I just got to my gravity cube. Normal jumps, gravity jumps. Yeah, this is anti-gravity with gravity. That is the tutorial for adding and not adding gravity. I think that is as simple as I can make it. The next ones I will do for a globe. I know that people are struggling with globes. I am personally struggling with the globe, but I think I can do it. I did this, and I haven't seen anything as simple as I made this. So I'm actually don't have to save this because I already have my gravity tutorial. So I'm not going to save that, and you all have a good one.